Joining me now to discuss this is Congresswoman Lauren Boebert and Congressman Greg Steube. Congresswoman Boebert, let's start with you. Are Republicans really going to fall for this?
I sure hope not, Laura. It's pretty simple for me. I will not vote to disarm law-abiding citizens. I will not vote to make law-abiding citizens criminals. That's exactly what Democrats want to do. And leftists call these 8 pieces of gun-grabbing legislation common sense, but there is nothing common sense about removing constitutional rights. There's nothing common sense about these red flag laws, about banning gun accessories or magazine limitations or age limits. The Biden regime refuses to enforce the laws we already have on the books. He doesn't enforce the laws we have to secure our southern border. He doesn't enforce gun laws when it comes to his son, Hunter. So why should we believe more legislation will be effective? This administration is completely lawless. And John Adams said that liberty once lost is lost forever. So the answer for me is a really simple one. No, I will not pass legislation that restricts law-abiding citizens while failing to actually secure our schools and create a safer society.
Now, Congressman Steube, they're trotting out their same old lines to justify, again, taking guns from people who've never been convicted of a crime. And Sylvia Garcia, as a congressman from Texas, trotted out the same old. Watch.
They don't want to give Joe Biden the win, the other Democrats a win. It's just horrific that we're putting political issues ahead of children's lives. We're putting the NRA before children's lives. We're putting our own political careers before children's lives.
Your response, Congressman?
Absolutely not. And this degradation of Republicans don't care about the victims is absolutely horrendous that they would make that implication. What these red flag laws would do is allow family members and household members to take your guns. So think of a family going through a divorce. One spouse says he's a threat. They take his guns without a hearing on the front end. Your due process and your right to a legal search and seizure by the government, your Fourth Amendment rights guaranteed in the Constitution, completely obliterated because law enforcement can come and take your guns without a hearing. And then after they've taken your guns, you have to hire a lawyer to go back in there and petition the court to get your guns back.
Now, Congresswoman, one of the provisions that seems to have a fairly broad support is raising the age to be able to purchase a gun, of an AR. According to Quinnipiac, 74% polled said they support raising the age to buy any gun, in this case, to 21. Among Republicans, 59% would support it. So, Congresswoman, is this something the Republican caucus could be open to, given where the public they claim is?
So for me, that would be a no. Look at how many college students do we have that would be left vulnerable and unable to defend themselves. Even in Colorado, there are areas where 18 to 20-year-olds cannot open carry because they do not have concealed carry weapons permits. And so those citizens are left disarmed. So I think that there are other ways to go about this, but restricting the age is definitely no for me. And I love what Congressman Steube was talking about there with due process. Look at what's happening at the southern border right now. We are letting some 3 million illegal aliens into our country right now, saying they deserve due process. But now Democrats want to bring to the floor red flag gun laws to restrict Americans from being able to have a firearm. And it completely bypasses American citizens' due process and so much more. But if Democrats really want to create a safer society, maybe they should crack down on folks, say, who drive drunk. And they can start with Paul Pelosi and leave law-abiding citizens alone. All
right, Congressman Steube, look, they believe they have the wind at their backs, and I think here because of the horrific tragedy in Uvalde. And, you know, our hearts all break for those families. It's unconscionable. Do you think if Democrats hadn't said things like, well, we want to ban this, you know, repeal the Second Amendment, you know, Michael Moore and those types, if they hadn't shown such bad faith on the gun issue, would you be open to raising the AR age to 21? The argument, look, you can't drink until you're 21. Why should you be able to buy an AR? I mean, I don't buy that argument, but that's what the argument is.
I voted against that piece of legislation when we passed it in Florida when I was in the state legislature, and my staff pulled the numbers. 99.7% of Americans between the age of 18 and 20 are law-abiding. Only 0.3% of that age demographic commit violent crime. Why are we going to punish law-abiding citizens and Americans and take away their constitutional right to protect themselves because 0.3% of that population commits violent crimes? I won't stand for it. I don't think the American people should stand for it, and I support freedom.
We'll see where this goes. Congressman Boebert and Congressman Stubbe, thank you so much. And Biden's big